Yo, what's up? It's Bobby, and today we're going to be talking about the rise and the fall of Dele Alli. Yeah, oh, Dele, because he doesn't like being called Ali. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the boy from Milton Keynes, how he went from being the player that the Los Blancos actually wanted, and now he's playing for the struggling Everton. So, let's get into the video. Obviously, a like and a sub would do bits. So, yeah, let's get into the video. So Dele Alli, when he was playing for Milton Keynes Dons, when he obviously because he grew up in Milton Keynes, growing up, so he started playing for Milton Keynes in their youth development. But I'm not gonna talk about like a huge history about where he started from and stuff like that. Just literally gonna take bits and pieces of out of every single part of his career, eventually getting to the point where he is right now. In 2013-14, remember when we used to play FIFA 14? In that year, he literally in that season he had a mad season because at the age that he was actually under the age of 20. And while I was playing FIFA 14, Dele Alli was putting some crazy numbers. In that season, in the 2013-14 season, he scored 7 goals and assisted 4 in all contribution, in all the goal contributions of that season, and he was putting in some very good performances, and which laid and that built his confidence for the next season, where he absolutely destroyed it. Because in that season, in 2014-15, the one that he destroyed, he scored a total of 16 goals and 11 assists in all competitions. That's crazy to think that at that age, he was not even a 20-year-old. He was just under the age of 20 where he was performing at this level. Tottenham even initially had already purchased him during the January transfer market and just let him to play off the season off of at MK Dons. But Dele Alli was playing at a phenomenal level and he was just showing how good he was. And his maiden season in the Premier League, well, how should I put it? He did the most. He was putting in some crazy, and he scored 10 goals, had 9 assists in the Premier League. Remember, this is the Premier League, creme de la creme. This is where you find all the best of class players, and a 20-year-old Dele Alli was absolutely ruining everyone. He was arrogant. He had the arrogance of like the way he used to play. He had so much confidence. He had the flair. He had the flicks. There's that goal against Crystal Palace, banger. So yeah, he oozed out like, and Dele Alli was a nutmeg king. He used to score a lot of. He used to nutmeg a lot of people and stuff. So he was just one of those players that just oozed that class. And you can imagine a player that then even was starting to get shouts of, the Real Madrid being called out, that Real Madrid could actually want to buy him and stuff. That's just crazy, to be fair. And he kept on going on a consistent level of being this good. Some would say that he was actually in his prime. I honestly disagree. I'm not saying that. Obviously, this was his prime, but then obviously primer like the later years where he's 28, 27, 29, which he hasn't reached there. But then there's something that you patterns that you're going to notice, because of certain things. I'll say them as I go on. And he had 2 PFA Young Player of the Season awards. He won them back to back, so from League One, Premium League, and another one in the Premier League. That was just on the level that Dele Alli was performing at. And you would consider that the fact that there was not a season from before the 2018-19 season where he would actually go a season without scoring at least 10 goals, having at least 5 assists in every single season. He was operating on a different level. Obviously, there was then like problems on how to adjust him and stuff, and on how to like play him, because he used to like to play just right behind Kane as a type of space invader, like a Rowan Doita, Thomas Muller type of vibe. So he enjoyed playing off of Kane, where he would just get enough space, find space, and capitalize and score goals. And he was doing that on a mad, consistent level. And it's such a shame that Dele Alli is obviously is not there anymore, but then he'll forever be in our minds as one of that player that used to do those crazy things. So that was the rise of Dele Alli. Let's talk about the four that happened to Dele Alli, how he went down, how it all came down. So one of the big things that I talked about during the video that I will then allude to was the injuries. Dele Alli is injury prone, and even back in his days when he was playing for MK Dons, he actually had a time where he was actually injured. But the serious injuries came right near in 2018. For me personally, that's when I feel like those ones were the ones that affected him the most, because those ones literally caused him a World Cup, chance for him to play in the World Cup. Or did he play, or was he selected but then he didn't play? I can't really remember. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. So yeah. So for me, the first thing that's very important to be highlighted falling was the injuries. The second thing that triggered him going down was definitely losing Musa Dembele. Now, Musa Dembele is a class player, one of the best sixes at the time. When Pochettino was there, you could actually track, if you notice, the moment Tottenham lost Dembele, their form started to plummet very low. To be fair, I'm probably Dele Alli's highlight of the 18-19 season was getting to the Champions League, but then the moment Musa Dembele went, they lost something that they really desperately needed: the excellent ball progressor that was Musa Dembele. They tried to obviously replace him with Tonga Ndombele, but then he didn't really work out. Which signings really, it's a signing at the end of the day, but then the the way Dembele was able to progress the ball further for the likes of Dele Alli allowed him to obviously do whatever he's doing up top, and also the way to cover the ball. Wanyama and Dembele used to make sure that they used to give enough security for Dele Alli to explore the whole entire field and do whatever he wants. But then losing those two, which then Spurs started to really change a lot of players. Harry Winks was in the mix. Tonga and Dembele, Musa Sissoko, all these players being trying to be integrated into this team and try to make like a way for it to like work out and try to find a way to bring out the best out of their attacking talents that they had. But then it wasn't really working. One of my favorite quotes from Jermaine Jennings was when he said that he sucks in all the pressure and releases the ball at the perfect time. And that's the type of player that Dembele was for them. His ball retention of the ball was so amazing that you'd find 6 or 4 players around him and he would just be dodging around them, pushing them around, and then he passes it exactly at the time where it's needed the most. And that most of the time we would find either Kane or Ali, and goals. Those two used to score goals. The moment obviously when Dembele was passed on or sold to the Japanese team, Tottenham lost something very big for them. They lost the final in the Champions League. They eventually, Dele Alli started misperforming. That was the first season where he scored 5 goals and he had only 3 assists. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And then obviously now, he can't even make the first 11 for Tottenham. So yeah, this certain dying breed of the number 10, it's something that's going on. So we first saw it with Arsenal and Ozil. Ozil was not really needed anymore. He was being benched like most of the time, because if you don't have a good 10 or a good destroyer, then there's no point of having a player that just holds the ball. You find teams like Liverpool don't even have a 10 in their system, or they do have a 10, which is Firmino, but then he plays as more of a striker. Teams like Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne has not performed as a 10 for a while. He's actually played as an advanced 8. So you kind of then start seeing signs of this number 10 position is kind of growing away. This type of Thomas Müller, aka the Räumdeuter, is not really that common anymore, because you don't really need them. All you need is a hard metal destroyer at the back who's just gonna sweep everything for you, and that's just the reality of football right now. So yeah. So my conclusion now: can we save Dele Alli? Can he come back? Can he start performing on the form that he obviously wants to get on, since he's now signed for Everton? And would there be a chance for him to actually glow up and be that player that he was before? Well, for me, I've got hope. I always have hope for any player out there. I always feel like there's always a redemption story on the horizon for any player, and same thing for Dele Alli. I think he's been needing this for a long time. I was happy when there were rumors that he wants to go, that Paris Saint-Germain actually wanted them. I was happy for him because it would be a change for him, environment, different players and stuff like that. I just want to see him getting back to the top. Will he though? Well, Everton have got some very good destroyers around them. I'm talking about Alan, this guy, yeah, that guy. Um, so you've got a team that has all these players, and I feel like if he can get his mind straight and he doesn't actually be lazy, I think he can actually unlock himself. He can flourish. Like Mourinho always used to tell him, if he's able to extract the most out of himself, he's one of the best players in the world. I love one of the quotes from Jose Mourinho when he was telling Kane, obviously. So the quote goes by being with me, I can help you to explode. And Kane exploded that season. He went from having a mad season to having one of the best seasons probably in his career. He had 18 goals, he had 23 goals in the Premier League, and had 14 assists. He took both the Golden Boot and the top assist creator of the season. That was mad. Amongst everything else, you can say whatever you want about Jose Mourinho, but when he tells you he wants you to explode, you have to take that chance and listen to him, what he has to say. My man has got, my boy Jose knows his stuff, man. He knows his beans. I'm telling you, he knows his stuff. So yeah. So thank you guys. If you watched the video up until now, you're still chilling with me right now, then you're OG. So thank you. I've definitely been Uncle Bobby, and yeah.